Okay, we're now going to look at some equations of the circle where the circle centre is not the origin. So let's say that we've got a circle with some circle centre which is called AB, and we've got a point that lies on the circle which is xy. Okay, so let's establish an equation for these circles. Okay, now if you think about it, if that A coordinate was 4 and that X coordinate there was 7, that would be a movement of 3 along, and we get that through 7 take away 4. Well, it just so happens that the A coordinate is given by A and the X coordinate is given by X, but the same rule of subtraction would apply, which means that this movement here would be X minus A, and for the same reasons the vertical movement then would be Y minus B. We'll still call this the radius, and using Pythagoras, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the two sides, so that then gives me the equation of the circle when the circle centre is not the origin, and that is x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared is equal to r squared. Let's try some questions with these. Okay, first one, we're going to write down the equation of the circle with circle centre to 7, and the radius is equal to 4. Okay, so that's the point AB. So it's x minus 2 all squared plus y minus 7 all squared is equal to the radius squared, which is 16. Question done. Okay, next one. Find the equation of the circle when the circle centre is minus 5 minus 6 and the radius is equal to 1. So that serves as the point AB. So remember, it's x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared is equal to r squared. So it'll be x minus 5, which is x plus 5 all squared, plus y minus 6 all squared, which is y plus 6 all squared, is equal to the radius squared, which is 1 squared, which is 1. Let's take down example 3. Example 3, state the circle centre and the radius of the following circles. First of all, let's go for x minus 3 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared is equal to 25. Okay, so it's coming from x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared is equal to r squared. So we can see clearly that if the circle centre is AB, which it is, then A is 3, B is 1, and the radius is equal to the square root of 25, which is 5. Okay, question B. We've now got the equation x plus 2 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared is equal to 9. So remember, it's of the form x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared is equal to r squared. Remember, the circle centre is AB, so minus a is 2, which means a is minus 2. Minus b is 1, which means b is minus 1. That's the circle centre. The radius squared is equal to 9, which means the radius is square root of 9, and that's 3. Okay, then we've got x squared plus y plus 3 all squared is equal to 36. Well, think about that x squared. A kind of fussier way of writing that, which makes the point, would be x minus 0 all squared. That tells me that the x coordinate is 0, the y coordinate is minus 3, the square root of 36 is 6, so the radius is equal to 6. Okay, question 4. Find the equation of each circle with centre C passing through the point P. So the centre is given by the point C and it passes through the point P. Okay, so we've got the circle centre 2, 2 and passing through the point P, which is 5, 4. Good idea is to get a sketch of that. So 2, 2 doesn't need to be a really accurate sketch, but definitely a visual to get something down. Okay, so a point 5, 4. Okay, now if we think about what we need for the equation of circle, there's two really fundamental things. We need circle centre and we need radius. Okay, so we've got the circle centre, which is 2, 2, but now we need to find the radius, and we're going to get that through a wee bit of Pythagoras. Okay, so from 2 along to 5 is 3 units along, and from 2 up to 4 is 2 units up. I'm going to call that r. R squared equals 3 squared plus 2 squared. R squared equals 9 plus 4, and r squared is equal to 13. The equation of the circle then is given by x minus l squared plus y minus bl squared is equal to r squared. I can now feed in numbers, and that will be x minus 2l squared plus y minus 2l squared is equal to r squared, which is 13. Okay, part B, circle centre this time is minus 3, 0, and we're passing through the point 3 minus 2. Let's get a sketch. Minus 3, 0. 3 minus 2 might be down here. Okay, so to get from minus 3 along to 3, that would be 6 units along. To get from 0 down to minus 2, that would be 2 units down. Okay, so r squared equals 6 squared plus 2 squared. R squared equals 36 plus 4, and r squared is equal to 40. So it's x minus minus 3 all squared plus y minus 0 all squared is equal to 40. We would absolutely be expected to simplify that. That's x plus 3 all squared plus just y squared is equal to 40. Okay, let's try one more like this. This time we've got circle centre minus 2, minus 3, and lying on the point P6, 1. So that could represent minus 2, minus 3. And here is the point 6, 1. Okay, to get from minus 2 along to 6, that would be 8 along. To get from minus 3 up to 1, that would be 4 up, and I can call that r. R squared is equal to 8 squared plus 4 squared. R squared equals 64 plus 16, and r squared is equal to 80. There's my circle centre, x minus minus 2 all squared plus y minus minus 3 all squared is equal to 80. Let's simplify. X plus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared is equal to 80. Okay, next question. This question says, write down the centres and equations of the 4 circles which touch both the x and y axis and have radius equal to 5. What we should absolutely do with that question is sketch out what we think it looks like. Okay, so let's get a xy coordinate diagram. Okay, so 4 circles, each touch the x and y axis and have a radius of 5. So if they touch, that means it's tangency. So there's one, second one, third one, and the fourth one. What I also know is each has a radius of 5. Okay, so to find the equation of a circle, we need radius and circle centre. So for each, look at the radius, and I just need to establish the circle centre. As we can see, if we concentrate first of all on this circle, call it circle 1. To get it from here to here, well, I'll need to travel along 5 and also move up 5. That's the 0.55. This one is 5 minus 5. This one is minus 5 minus 5. And this one is minus 5, 5. Okay, so let's write out the equations. So what do I need? Circle, centre and radius. So the first one is going to be x minus 5 all squared plus y minus 5 all squared is equal to the radius squared, which is 25. The second one is going to be x minus 5, that's x plus 5 all squared plus y minus 5 all squared is equal to 25. The third one is going to be x minus 5, which is x plus 5 all squared, plus y minus 5, which is y plus 5 all squared is equal to 25. And finally, x minus 5 all squared plus y minus 5 all squared, which is y plus 5 all squared is equal to 25 again. Okay, try another question. Find the equation of the circle concentric with the circle x minus 1 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared is equal to 16. Okay, now let's just establish what concentric means. Concentric circles are circles which all have the same circle centre. The best way to think about this is if you drop a pebble into a pond, it will create concentric circles. At the point at which you drop, that will be the circle centre. It will then result in bigger circles moving out from that circle centre. We call those concentric circles. So they have the same circle centre. Okay, so we can see then that the circle centre here will be 1 minus 1, which means the circle centre we're looking for also has a circle centre 1 minus 1. Now we're also told that our circle has got a radius which is twice as long. Okay, so it's going to be x minus 1 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared, which is y plus 1 all squared is equal to r squared. Okay, so we can see that the radius squared of this circle is 16, which means its radius is 4, which means the radius of this circle must be 8 since it's double length, which means r squared is 64. X minus 1 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared is equal to 64. Let's try another question. Okay, AB is the diameter of a circle where A is 9,5 and B is minus 1 minus 7. Find the equation of the circle. So to find the equation of the circle, I need circle centre and I need radius. Let's first of all sketch this out. So we've got a point A95. So let's say that that's there. And a point B minus 1 minus 7. And let's say that that is there. Okay. First thing we need to do is to establish the length of this line. We can do it through Pythagoras. That's the diameter. So from minus 1 to 9, that's a movement of 10 along. From minus 7 up to 5, that's a movement of 12 up. And I'm going to call that D for diameter. So D squared equals 10 squared plus 12 squared. D squared is equal to 100 plus 144. D squared equals 244. So D will be equal to the square root of 244. Take your time and think about that one. 61 fits in 4 times. So that's in the square root of 4 times square root of 61, which is 2 root 61. So the diameter of that circle is given by 2 lots of root 61. if the diameter of the circle is 2 lots of root 61, then obviously the radius must be just 1 lot of root 61, root 61. So that's me got the radius. I now need to establish the circle centre. I can do that by a bit of midpoint work from straight line. So it's an average of the x and the y coordinates. So that'll be minus 1 plus 9 over 2 and minus 7 plus 5 over 2. Okay, so the midpoint then, minus 1 plus 9 is 8 over 2 is 4, minus 7 plus 5 is minus 2 over 2 is minus 1, midpoint is given by 4 minus 1. I can now feed all that information into the equation of the circle. So remember that's x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared is equal to r squared. So that's x minus 4 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared is equal to root 61 all squared. X minus 4 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared is equal to 61. Final answer.